Hey guys, Eric and Roth here to talk about one of the many new fall comedies we've got coming, A to Z, which stars Ben Feldman and Cristin Milioti. I hope I'm saying your last name right.
The mother.
The mother of How I Met Your Fame. What did you think of A to Z?
I mean, I think it has a very similar structure to How I Met Your Mother, which is like, you know, you're saying these people dated for 8 months. I think it's 8 months and some odd weeks.
We're told that in the first minute of the show.
Right, and so the whole thing is leading up to, we assume, a breakup. Unless it's a murder-suicide, as you mentioned earlier.
Right. You know? Or it's they dated because then they get engaged, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Max Nicholson reviewed it for us, and he said, hey, there's a couple ways you could go. It could be that, is this
I didn't even think of that.
Right. Is it an anthology romance show where the next year would be A to Z for another couple if there's another next year? Or is it like they dated for 8 months, they were engaged for this long, you know?
Later I will be talking to my therapist about the reasons. The two places I went is to double murder or a breakup. Sure, you could do those things too, but some big change is going to happen. So that is a sort of similar structure where you're kind of like looking back through the series, which is odd, you know. It's voiced by Katie Segal. Yeah,
she narrates, not as either of these characters, just
as like an omniscient God narrator or something like that about this relationship. I thought it was okay. I generally really don't love half-hour comedies, and I didn't love this one. I wasn't sure that their chemistry was strong enough for me to warrant a full season of basically what is a romantic comedy, right? Like, and I don't have anything against romantic comedies, actually. I love them when they're done well, but they're almost never done well. And so with something like How I Met Your Mother, it didn't rest on a chemistry between two characters because you didn't meet her until the very end. It rested on the ensemble and the strength of their friendships, which is much more like a Friends, which was a great, you know, sort of half-hour series. I think putting too much weight on people buying into this couple is a lot for a half-hour comedy, because if you don't, and I didn't, it doesn't work.
See, interestingly, my least of the issues was with them as a couple. I like both these actors and I like them together, but the world they exist in is what just wasn't grabbing me. It's very, we follow a lot of him in his workplace. He works at an online dating company, and it just felt very sort of hackneyed and cliche as far as like the betrayal of the company and the boss, and it's all very heightened. Which is hard to pull off correctly, and I don't think they nail it, at least not in this pilot episode. It all just kind of feels like we're trying really hard to be this wacky, you know, funny place that they're existing in, but I wasn't buying into it.
And I think that that's one of the big issues for me with a lot of half hours, is that they are treading in very stale, stereotypical jokes and repetitive kind of scenarios. They're boring. I mean, for that reason, nothing surprising really happens, and I think that that was true here for me too. There was no moment that I really found myself like doubled over in laughter. By the end of it, I just thought, I don't really ever need to revisit this world, and I feel like I'm bagging on it hard because I don't think it is a terrible half hour at all. I just don't like that format.
Yeah, I'm fine with the format. I mean, it's a single,
when it works,
it's a single camera, and I'm very open to that. But yeah, like it's not terrible. We've seen plenty worse. But Max, who reviewed it for us, gave it a 5 out of 10. I'd probably be about the same. You know, it just feels very like we've done this. We've seen it. Yeah. And nothing really stands out.
And so that's what I mean, because to me, it's like if we've been there, we've done that. The side characters are sort of, you know, tropes we've seen before. It's the wacky best friend, and it's the other wacky best friend, and they're both super sexualized, so that these two can be what, paragons of virtue by comparison. Okay, fine, whatever. But then at least if this chemistry was super strong and funny and snappy, like if you think about like the best romantic comedies, they're really funny and the characters have great chemistry, like all the way back to It Happened One Night. If that's not happening, then really what are you there for?
Right. You're just kind of, you're wasting your time.
So waste your time on A to Z if you like.
It's you know, it debuts in a few weeks on NBC, but they put the pilot out early on Hulu, so you can check it out now and let us know what you think. Thanks, guys. We'll have plenty more on a lot of fall TV. New debuts coming soon at IGN.